Hi and welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to show you how to use the Woo Builder with the Plus Add-ons for Elementor, and more specifically how to use the Woo Single Page Builder features. With this amazing bundle of widgets, you will be able to design one-of-a-kind, unique and professional looking product pages like no one else, with a multitude of options that will make you stand out from the crowd. And you will be able to design splendid product pages like this one, or like this one, or even like this one here. I'm Dave and I'm bringing you this guest tutorial on behalf of the Plus Add-ons for Elementor, and make sure to subscribe to their channel so that way you won't miss a single update. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Okay, so our very first step is to enable a few of the widgets. So for this we go to the plus settings, plus widgets, and in the search box type in Woo, just like this. Now we are going to enable quite a few of them. So we're going to start with all the ones for the single page. So we're going to start by enabling Woo Single Basic, Woo Product Images, Woo Single Pricing, and Woo Single Tabs. And we are also going to need Woo Thank You, Woo Order Track, and finally Product Listing. And once you have all of these enabled, so basically turned purple like this, click Save. And then we're going to go into Extra Options. And from here, you're going to scroll down the page and locate this section here that says WooCommerce Swatches and WooCommerce Product Video URL. So make sure those two are enabled as well. Again, when it's done, click Save. And then now one more step is to go into Performance. We're going to clear the cache, so purge all cache, click OK, and that's it. Now this is called Woo Builder. So clearly you would need WooCommerce installed, and then you would need to create at least one product in order to proceed to the next step. So let me show you what are the requirements when you create a new product. Now, as you can see, we have a few sample products already, but what I'm going to do with you now is to create a brand new product from scratch and go through all the steps one by one. Okay, so let's go ahead with this. So we click Add New. So let's give it a name. So we're going to create a men's polo shirt page, and that we need to insert a description as well. We need to set the category. So maybe we're going to set this as fashion. We can add a few product tags as well if we want to, and these should be separated with a comma. So let's type maybe polo shirts and polo shirts. So we can add this. So as you can see, we have our 3 tags now. And then let's add a product image. And for this, let's just click on that. And as you can see, I've already uploaded 5 different colors. So you're going to select your main one, which is the main picture you want to display. So let's select maybe the black one, insert. And underneath it, as you can see, we can add additional pictures, which is our product gallery. So here we're going to add the other colors. And we can add to gallery, we can add another one. So this one now add, and I do the same thing again with the other colors. And now, as you can see, we have 5 different colors all together. And next to our pictures, you can see we have a short product description. So let's insert a short description. And now let's get down to the nitty-gritty with all the main product data. Now this product is a polo shirt that's available in different sizes and different colors. So this will be a variable product. So you have to select variable product. That's the step number 1. And then we're going to fill out all these details one by one. So the first one is the SKU. So that's basically your product reference. So this could be a serial number or barcode. So let's just call it PS001 for polo shirt 001. And you can decide whether or not you want to manage stock. So if you take this, basically you have the option to add the stock quantity, available quantity, if you want to allow back orders, and how the stock threshold is defined. And would you like to allow your visitors to purchase one single item of these or not? If so, just tick this box. Next is shipping. So let's have a look here. So here it's pretty simple. Basically put the weight and the dimensions. And then we have the linked products as well. So here you can add your upsells and cross-sells. So the upsells basically is the same type of product, but a different brand or a different model or a different quality or a different price range. And the cross-sell is basically something that would work with this. So it could be maybe a jacket or a pair of jeans or a pair of shoes that would work well with this product. And then we have attributes. So this is the most important section when it comes to variable products. So what are attributes? So basically these are all the different options available for a product. So for instance, in our case here of a polo, this could be the colors or maybe the size. So let me show you how you can create those attributes now. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. We're going to products, attributes, and we're going to create our new set of attributes. So the first one would be size. So let's call it size. And what type of attributes will this be? So basically you have the choice among 3 different options. You have color, image, or button. So what's the difference between those 3? Let me show you very quickly. So if you select color, you'll be able to display the different colors. So for instance, blue, brown, or gray, etc., or any colors available in stock. The second one is the image or pattern. So basically you can use an image to display exactly what it looks like. And then we have the size. So this is basically a letter. So it could be large, medium, extra large, or double XL, etc., etc. So back to our attributes here for the size. The one we need to select is button. So that's basically this one here. These are buttons. So let's create them. So we're going to add a new one. So this is the attribute range. So let's create this. And then we can create the different terms, so the different sizes basically. So our first size, so let's go with extra small, so XS. And what will it say on the button? So let's make it XS. So let's add this. And then we can have small. Let's call it small, add new. And we can do the same with all the other sizes. So basically just like that. And now we can organize them. So basically we'll start with the extra small, we'll have small, and then we have medium, large, extra large, and then double XL. Now they are in the right order. Now let's create our new set of attributes. So that's the color. So we have the name, the slug, and this time we're going to select the color attribute here and add new section. There you go. And then we're going to create our terms, so our colors. So let's go back quickly to our product. As you can see, we have a black, purple, beige, blue, and red. So let's create all these different colors. Let's start with the first one. So let's call it black. And let's select the color. So this one is black, so it's very simple. There you go. And we can add the new color. So as you can see, we have black. And let's do the same with the other colors. So just like that, and you can reorganize the order using this drag and drop feature. And now that we have created our attributes, let's save this product first. So update, and let's refresh this page all together now. And now our attributes should be visible. So as you can see, we have size and color. So let's add the sizes first. So let's click add. And as you can see, you can select the value. So you can select one or several values, or you can add them all. So let's say you want to select them all, just like this. Or maybe you want to remove some. Maybe you don't have double XL for this one, and you just have those values. So it's really up to you. So you can add them all, or just select a few. And then make sure that you take this box here, used for variations. This is very important. And then let's add our next set of attributes. So it's color. So let's click add. And then again, same principle, you can select which values you want, or you can add them all. So we're going to select them all here because we have all these colors. And again, make sure you take used for variations. So click save attributes. And then from here, we're going to create our variations. So click on variations now, and we're going to add variations. So click on this drop down menu. And what we're going to do is to create variations from all attributes. That's going to be done automatically for us and save us a ton of time. So just click go, and then you will have a small warning here. Are you sure you want to link all the variations? Just click OK, and it's going to do its thing. So as you can see, 30 variations were added. So as you can see, we have all the different variations. So in extra small, you have extra small in black, extra small in blue, in red, in purple, and beige. In small, you have the same. You have small in black, blue, red, purple, and beige. Now, if you open each and every one of them, and then from here you have to enter the details of each model. So basically, extra small black. This one is maybe $25. You have on sale at the moment at $20. And then you do the same for the extra small in blue. So this one is maybe $25 on sale at $22, etc., etc. So you could do that with all the 30 different variations here. Or if all your products are the same price, so the black, the purple, the beige, the blue, and the red one, they're all the same price, you can go here and instead of add variation, you're going to set a regular price. So click on set regular prices here. So go, yes, and enter the value. So let's say they're all $25. So click OK. There you go. And now if you open any of these, you will see they all have a set price of $25. And you can do the same with the sale price as well. So set sale prices, go, and maybe they're all at $22.50 on sale, or maybe just $20. Okay. And there you go. Now, if you open any at random, you will see that they have a set price of $25 and then $20 on sale. So a quick recap about your product. What are the requirements? You need a product title. You need a description. You need to define a category, add some product tags, at least one picture. You can add a product gallery as well. And then you need a short description. And you need to take care of the inventory, shipping, linked products, attributes, and variation section as well. And now you have a full product ready to go. And if you decided to enable the WooCommerce product video URL, you will also have this section here on your product page. And you can feel free to add a video to your product if you do have one. And for that, simply click on this button here. And then you can upload a file. So select the file you want to upload, and then this will be added to your media library. Once this is uploaded, select the video itself and then click use this file. And now that you have a video attached to your product, you can save, click update, and that's it for our product page. Now let's have a quick look at what our product page looks like. So let's open this in a new tab. And as you can see, this is the default WooCommerce layout. So it looks okay, it is fine, this is professional looking, and as you can see we have drop down menus here to select our different options. Now let me show you how you can change this page, change the whole layout, make it your own, and make it look absolutely fabulous and fantastic. So let's go ahead with that. Now, in order to build a new WooCommerce product page layout, you will need to be able to create a new template. And for this, you can either use Nexter Builder, which is part of the Nexter WP theme, or you can use Elementor Pro. And from here, you can also create new templates. But for this tutorial, we are going to use Nexter Builder. And from here, you go to all templates. As you can see, we have created a few WooCommerce single pages already. So we are going to explore these together very soon. But first, let me show you the initial setup, how to create a page. And for this, we're going to click on Add New. So we're going to give our page a title. So Woo Single Page Template. And then scroll down the page. So you're going to select here Pages. And then singular, because that's a single page we are building now. And we have to set a rule as well. So let's set up a rule. So we're going to include, and what type of conditions are we going to include? So if we scroll down now into our options here, we can select the product. So let's include all our products. And what type of condition do you want? Is it all or just selected products? So you can add selected products, or all. So you can select them one by adding them like this. So let's just keep one for now for our page. And then we need to set up our preview as well. So let's scroll down and select all products. And we need to select one specific product. So let's select our men's polo shirt that we just created. So we click publish, publish again. And then we're going to click on edit with Elementor. And now we have a blank canvas we can work from, and we can create literally anything we want, design any type of layout for our WooCommerce product page. So let's go ahead and let's create something from scratch together. So first, let's insert a section, a new section, and we can create this with 2 columns maybe. Okay, so let's give it a little bit of styling so we can stretch this section. So it's going to take the full width. We're going to add a background color. So maybe some gray color like this would be absolutely fine. And let's add a little bit of padding all around. So maybe 40 pixels. And now we're going to insert our Plus Add-ons elements. So click on all the elements here, scroll down. And from here you can see we have all the Plus Woo Builder elements. So let's insert some of these. So as you can see, you have the Woo product image. So let's insert an image maybe. And then we have all these different options. So we'll explore that later. I'm just showing you here how to build your layout first. So let's keep style 1 and let's keep the default as well. And as you can see, we can't see nothing at the moment. But if you update and then have a preview like this, as you can see, this is what our page looks like in the front end. So we have our background and we have our different images showing up here immediately. Now, bear in mind that not all options will be visible in the back end. So for instance, if I select option 2, you can see that from here, but some options you'll have to update and preview them in the front end like we just did. Okay, so let's carry on and add more things to our page. So as you can see, we're back to our Plus Woo Builder items here. So let's add the Woo single pricing on this column here. Now let's go into advanced. We're going to add a padding of 40 pixels all around it. We're going to add a background color, a white color, just like this. And then we can round these edges if we're going to border and add maybe 25 here, as you can see. And then we're going to do the exact same with our image section here. So just like that, basically. And now we can update and have a preview. And this is what our page looks like. So great progress already. So let's add some more information to it now. So let's select Woo single tabs and we're going to add it just underneath this section here. And as you can see, we now have our description and all the additional information and reviews. So let's have a quick look. So let's update and let's have a preview. And there you go. As you can see, now we have all the different features here, add to cart, the price, all the different tags, and also description, additional information and reviews. And these are the basic fundamentals, how you can create your own template, your own layout for your single WooCommerce page. So let me show you all the different features. Let's explore each of them one by one. So for this, let's open an existing template that we've built recently. So let's go ahead with this one. So edit with Elementor. And this is our page layout with all the elements in it. As you can see, we've created all of this ourselves, top to bottom. So let me show you quickly what it looks like. As you can see, it looks very professional, doesn't it? Very modern looking and everything. So you can recreate something very similar to this or to that effect anyways. So let me show you all these different options now. So let's have a look at our image first. As you can see, we have an image gallery at the moment because you have more than one picture, but maybe you want to display a single image. So if you select that option, you only have one picture and you can decide what size image you want to display. And then if you select image gallery, you can select among two different styles. We have style 1, which is the one we have at the moment. Then you can select style 2. And with style 2, you can have different layouts as well. So you can have masonry like this one here. So you can see they're not all evenly laid out. They're up and down like this. But you can have as a grid. You can have them as a metro or as a carousel as well. So basically you can slide from one to the other. So basically a carousel will allow you to scroll left or right with a certain amount of pictures. So we only have 3 pictures at the moment, but if you had maybe 7 or 8 pictures, you could slide from one to the other, left or right. Okay, so let's have a look at the other elements on this page. So if I click on this one here, you can see this one is Woo single basic element. And this one here is the same. It's a Woo single basic element as well. But this one contains a title and this one contains a description. So let's discover this one first. So this one contains a title. So basically here, every Woo single basic elements, you can select among 5 different options. So you have title, short description, badge, rating, and next and previous product. So at the moment we have 2 of them here on this page. So you can select any of them. You can add more elements as well. But here we add it one at a time because we can add some spacing in between. And we can stylize this one compared to this one as well. Now it's truly up to you. You can have two separate elements like you have here. So you can have the title and the description, or you can add an element here. So we can have title and short description. And as you can see, these are part of the same element here. But regardless, you can stylize both options anyways, you know. So we can go into style and we can stylize the title and we can stylize the description as well separately. Now, if you decide to have two different elements like we have here, you will have a little bit more liberties when it comes to designing your page. Like for instance, you'll be able to add margins or padding in between the elements. You might have this one of a different width compared to this one, etc, etc. Now let me show you the other options available. So we've discovered title and description. So let's have a look at badge. So as you can see, it is showing that this item is down 5% in price. And the reason is because this item, let me show you here, is actually on sale. So the usual price is $39, down to $37 at the moment. And then we have the out of stock text. So at the moment, by default, it's out of stock, but you can put in anything you want. For instance, all gone. So if we were to set this item as out of stock, so let's put this as out of stock at the moment. Let's save this and let's go and have a look now. And as you can see now, because this item is out of stock, it will display the out of stock text, which says all gone. And as always, you can tweak this around and customize it. So if you go into style, you go into sale badge. This is divided in two different sections. So you have the sale badge and then we have the out of stock badge, which is the one we have at the moment. And you can tweak this around the way you want. So you can add some padding if you want to. You can change the font. You can change the font color. So let's go for black maybe. You can change the background color as well. Add a different color if you wanted to. So maybe let's make it an orange color, maybe just like this. And you can add border radius, etc, etc. So the usuals. Okay, so now we have our sale badge right here. So you can change the size. So just like this by using this slider. So as you can see, it's increasing the size of the badge, but not the size of the font. So let's say we wanted to increase the size up to 70 like this. You will have to increase the font as well then. So you go into typography and here are all your settings for your font. So you can just increase the font again using this slider here. And maybe you want to change the font type as well. So let's select Poppins maybe. And maybe you want to make it extra bold. And this is fine like this. And then we're going to select a color. So let's select white. And let's add a vivid background color. So maybe something like red, something that you can't miss. Now by default, our sale badge has a rounded shape, but if you wanted to change that shape to a square, for instance, you can change the border radius and set it to 0. Now we have a perfect square. Now you can round these edges if you wanted to by increasing the border radius. As you can see now, if you select to 10, we have those edges a bit rounded. And then the more you increase this value, the more rounded the shape will be. Just like that. And if you wanted to add a little effect as well, you can even add a box shadow, just like this. And as you can see now, it stands out a little bit from the background. And next we have our rating. So as you can see, 2 customers left a review and now we have a rating here with the stars. And this can be configured and customized as well. And for this, we're going to go to style, rating. And our first option is the size, as you can see. So let's make it a little bit bigger, maybe like that. And we can change the rating color and the empty color. So let's change the rating color first. So let's insert maybe a green like this. And let's keep this one maybe the same color, maybe a faded gray. Just perfect, just like that. This is absolutely fine. And then we can change the font of our rating count as well. So maybe you want to make it a little thinner. So maybe 300. And you might want to change the size as well. Make it a little bit smaller, just like this. And this is absolutely fine. And you can change its color as well. As you can see, it's a faded gray at the moment, but maybe you want it to be jet black or maybe the same green as the stars, just like this. Now, in relation to our rating here, in order for your customers to leave a review, you will have to add a review section, a review box. So let me show you how you can do this. So if you scroll down your page and add a new section here, maybe 1 column only, and you go into your elements and you look for Woo single tabs like this one here, drag and drop it. And as you can see, we now have description and reviews. So if we have a quick preview of our page, if we scroll down the page, Now our visitors can leave a review and star rating as well. And while we are on the subject, let's explore our Woo single tab. So as you can see the layout here, you can select among two different options. So we have tabs like we have at the moment, or individual, in which case you can select which single item you want to display, either a review form, additional information, or description. Now let's go back to tabs. And once we select tabs, you can select among 4 different styles. So this is style number 1, then we have style number 2. So this one, basically each and every time you're going to click on it, it's like a toggle switch, which is going to open the next section. We have style number 3, which is very similar, but it will only open one tab at a time. And then we have style number 4, and in this case, the tabs are located by the side. And if you click on them, it will reveal the content separately. So let's keep style number 1 for now, and let me show you all the customization options available for this widget. So as you can see, it is very comprehensive indeed. You can change literally every aspect of this widget. So let's explore each and every one of them. So we have the tab heading. So that's basically this section here on top. So we can change the background color. So let's add a color for now, maybe some gray color like this. We can add a little bit of padding all around it, maybe just like that. And then you can set an active color as well. So basically, if someone was to click on reviews, it will reveal the content for the reviews. And then this becomes the active tab. So we can change maybe the background of this as well and add maybe a darker shade of gray. So let me show you very quickly what this looks like. So basically, if I click on it, this becomes the active tab. Now let's tweak the content of our tabs here. So we go to the next step. So tab panel. So from here we can add a background color again. So maybe a lighter gray. And we can add a little bit of padding all around the content here just to give it a bit of breathing space. So maybe 40. And as you can see, we have a bit of white spacing, a bit of white gap here in between. So what we're going to do is add a negative margin on top. So maybe we're going to go with -27, and this would be just about perfect. Now let's have a look at our description here. So description heading. So this is just our heading alone. So again, you have the same set of customization here. So we can change the color. So as you can see, we can make it jet black or maybe a different shade of gray, just like this would be fine. And then we can change the typography as well. So maybe you want this to be underlined like this, which would be fine. And then we can do the exact same with the description content here underneath. So this is this tab now, description, and we can change the font color again. As you can see, you can make it fully jet black or maybe a different shade of gray. We can change the font size. So maybe let's make this a little thinner, maybe just like that, maybe 400. And you can change the size as well based on your own personal preferences and requirements. So let's make it maybe 14. And then our next two sections are related to the additional information. So as you can see, we don't have any additional information tab at the moment. And the reason is because you have to enter those details here in your product page. You need to enter the weight and dimension. Once you've done that, it will be visible in the back end. And now that we've added those details, you can see we have the additional information tab. So let's tweak this around. So first, let's take care of our heading here. So maybe we can do the same. We can make it underlined, and we can change our color as well. So let's make it a little bit darker to match the other title. And then let's customize our table here underneath. So let's click on this one here. And as you can see, we can change the heading, which is this section here, and the description, which is there. So basically, we can change the font and the color, and we can change the background color here as well. So let's go and change this color. So let's make it white, maybe just like this. And now it does stand out a little bit more compared to the gray background. And then we have our review section here underneath. And as you can see, we have 5 different sections here. So let's start with our heading. And again, we can change the color and we can change the typography as well. So let's make it underlined like the other 2 titles. And then we have our image here as well. So we can change the size. So as you can see, we can increase or reduce the size. So let's make it maybe 47 or 45. And then we have our review table. So basically it's this section here. So let's take care of this now. And we have a few more options here. So let's start with our background color. So let's make it white, maybe just like this. And then we can change the meta, description, and rating settings as well. So let's keep this the same. So basically this is the color. You can change, you know, all of these, but let's keep it the same color for now. Let's just change the rating color here. So we have the fill color. So let's go maybe with a bright orange like this, or darker orange, maybe just like that. And then the empty color could be a red. And finally, for this section, we have the review form. So it's here underneath. So let's go and change our settings again. And again, as usual, we can change every aspect of each items here. So let's say you have the review heading. I'm going to show you with the red color. So basically this is what it is. And then you have this one here. That's the review label. So it's those two here, etc., etc. So basically you can change everything, including the background color. So let's add a background color. So let's make it white. And then you can do the same even with the button here underneath. So you can add a padding, you can change the color, change the font, and you can do that in normal mode and hover mode. And then we can change the review box itself as well. So for instance, we can add a background. So maybe we make it a bit darker, and we can add a bit of padding, and this stands out on its own now. So let's have a quick look at what it looks like. So as you can see, we have 3 different tabs here. So this is our description. We have additional information with our table here with the white background. And you can see we have our beautiful layout now, and your customers can easily leave a review. So let's add a 5-star review and our review right here. And then we can submit this. And just like that, we have an additional review. And then we have next previous product. And when you enable this option, as you can see, we have an additional feature here that allows you to go to the next or the previous product. So by default, it will display next and previous, but maybe you want to tweak this around and add your own text. So maybe you want it to display next product and previous product. So basically all you have to do is to insert your own text right here. And then you can select which icon you want to display next to it. So click on this, select among all these different icons here available to you, or you can search by name. So let's say we're looking for right. And then we can select any of these. So at the moment, this is the one we have. So maybe you want to change this to this one. And then click Insert. And then we can do the same for the left. So search for left. And then select the identical one, but for the left this time. Select and Insert. And if we hover on top, as you can see, it is revealing the next page, the next product already. We have an image and a preview, and we can change the button here and the text layout as well. So let's go ahead with this. And we're going to Style, and we select Next Previous. And then this section is broken down in different categories. So we have the title and icon, which is this one here. And then we have the product info box, which is when you hover on top, it will reveal the image. And then we have the up arrow, the product image, and the product title. So let's go through all these options one by one, and let's start with our title and icon. So if you want, you can add a gap. As you can see, we'll add a gap by the side. It will increase slightly. And then we can change the color and the background as well. So let's add a background color first, maybe. So maybe we're going to make it a grayish color like this, just like that. And then we're going to add a little bit of padding within it. So maybe 20 px. As you can see, now we have all this padding all around it. And then we can change the font color as well. So let's keep it maybe charcoal gray for now. It's probably a better match for our gray background. And then as always, you can add a border if you wanted to, and add a border radius. So if we add maybe 40 here, we'll have the exact same rounded edges as this button here, which is a nice match. And we can do the same in normal and hover mode. So let's go and change the colors here in hover. And just like that, we have a new set of colors. And as you can see, it changes color when I hover on top. Now, before we take care of our product info box, as you can see, if I hover on top, the image is behind the Add to Cart button. And for this, we need to make a slight change. So we're going to Advanced. And from here, we're going to change the Z index. We're going to change it to 999. And now if I hover on top, as you can see, my image is now displaying on top of all the other items. Now let's take care of our product info box. So if you hover on top, that's what it looks like at the moment. So the first thing we can do is maybe add a background color. So we can select a color here. So let's go maybe with the gray color again. Now if I hover, as you can see, we have a shade of gray as a background. But maybe you want the picture to have a bit of breathing space. So maybe you can add a little bit of padding all around it. So 25. So this is what it looks like. Now our info box is showing underneath our button, but we can offset its position as well. So you can bring it closer or farther away depending on the distance. So if I increase this, for instance, 122, as you can see now it's further away from my button. Now if you were to reduce this, you might bring it closer. And you can change the width of your info box as well. So you will go from 1 right up to 250. So 250, that's the maximum width you can have. And you can reduce that or increase that based on your own preferences. Now by default it is adding a black border all around it, but you can change that. So let's say if you wanted to change the type of border, you can make a solid border, let's say 1 pixels in thickness, just like this, but you can increase that obviously, you can make it thicker, just like that. And you can even change the color. Now, if you don't want a black border all around it, just simply change the color here and select the same color as your background. And now, as you can see, it is seamless. And perhaps you want rounded edges as well, in which case you can increase the border radius here, maybe to 25. And as you can see now, all our corner edges are rounded. And as always, you can add a box shadow. So let's have a look at what it looks like. And as you can see, now our info box stands out a little bit more compared to the background. And then we have our up arrow. So let me show you here what it looks like. So basically, this is that little arrow there pointing towards the button. So we can change this as well. So we can change the color. So for instance, let's make it red. This is what it looks like. And we can offset the position as well. So this is our next button. So we're going to go to our next offset. So at the moment, our up arrow is positioned on the right hand side of our info box. Now, if I was to change the value here, maybe I'll add 75. And as you can see, now it's showing in the middle of our info box. Now let's take care of our product image. So this is basically our picture here. So we can increase the size if we wanted to. As you can see, now it's much bigger. And as always, you can add a border if you wanted to and change the border radius. So let's make this one 15 maybe. And as you can see, our picture now has rounded edges. And finally, let's take care of our product title. So as you can see at the moment, it's very close to our picture. So let's add a little bit of margin so we can unlink these and add maybe 20 pixels on top. And as you can see now, it has a little bit more of breathing space. And maybe let's make the font slightly bigger. So we're going to typography, scroll down a little bit and let's increase the size to 20 and let's make it a little bit thicker maybe. And let's have a look, and this is absolutely fine. And finally, you can decide how you want to align your button. So maybe you want it to the left, maybe to the right, or maybe in the middle. And now let's go back to the top of our page and let's discover the single pricing widget here. So let's click on this. So at the moment we are displaying the price and the add to cart button, as you can see here, but you can add more items if you wanted to. So you can have the add to cart, the price, stock level, if it's sold or available, and also the attributes. So let's add the stock level as well. And as you can see now, it is displaying the stock level. So if we go into our product page and check the stock level here, inventory, you can see we have 1,617 units available in stock, and this is displaying here as well. So you can have the stock prefix, the stock postfix, so before and after. So availability, this is this text here, and in stock as well, that's the text just after it. And for this, you can use the single pricing feature or go into extra options and enable this option here. And if you do this, as you can see, it is displaying the stock level. Now this feature will give you a bit more flexibility because you can have the out of stock notice and the back order notice as well. And you can tweak this text around as well. And as always, with each and every element here, you can stylize them going into this section here, and then you go into stock. And if you wanted to change the color or any of those settings, you can do it directly from here. So let me show you just if we were to change the color. Now we can have it in red, and you can do the same for both in stock and out of stock. So this is the in stock availability level, and you have the out of stock level as well. So maybe you can play around with colors. Maybe you could have green for in stock and red for out of stock, or whichever other colors and settings you prefer. And then our next option is sold. So you will let your customers know how many items were sold. So for instance, let me show you here. I've created an order here, and this one contained 8 of those black canvas shoes. As you can see, 8. and now it is displaying sold 8 in the last hour. So maybe you can change this around and maybe just put it like this, sold in the last hour. So 8 sold in the last hour. And as always, you can customize the style just by going to this section here, so sold, and we can change the color if we wanted to. So maybe we'll make it red, and you can change the font as well. Maybe you want to make it thicker, just like this, etc., etc. And then you can display all the attributes as well. So basically the SKU, category, and tags. So you can display them inline or as a block, just like this. And you can define the minimum width as well. And this way, all the attributes will be lined up. Now let's have a look at our two other items here. So we have price and add to cart. So let's discover price. So with the price, basically you can put a prefix here. And you can even add a postfix if you wanted to. So let me show you all the styling options here very quickly. So if you go into price, as you can see, you can align them and add some spacing. Then we have the sale price. So this is our price here. So as you can see, if I change the color, this is our price. Or you can change the previous price, basically this one here. So maybe you want to put the emphasis that it was $39 and now it's only $37. And then you can change the postfix and prefix as well, which is this one here. So maybe we can tweak this around, maybe make it a bit thicker and underlined. And then we have our add to cart section here. So you can choose among two different layouts. So this is layout 2, and then you have layout 1 as well. So basically here you can enter the quantity yourself. And with layout 2, you can use the plus and minus sign to change the quantity. And as always, we can customize this the way we want. So we have the add to cart button, which is this one here. As you can see, this is our color. We have the background type and the different border radius. And we can tweak our quantity box as well. So we click on simple products. And as you can see, we have two different types, two different layouts. So you have the quantity and then you have the quantity box option layout 2. So at the moment, this one is layout 1. So if you wanted to change the color, for instance, you can change it using this option here. And as you can see, now we have a different color background. And then you can also change the stock and out of stock feature. So if you enabled this feature here, the extra options, as you can see, is displaying the stock level. You can tweak the settings right here as well. Now to demonstrate those options here, variations, swatches, and group product, let me open a different page. So let's discover the variations product first. So let's open this product here. And as you can see, we have different variations here. So we can choose among different options. And now we can tweak this around as well. So if we click on our section here, we can tweak every aspect of it. So we can change the background color. So let's make it maybe jet black. So let's add a bit of padding, maybe 40 all around it. And then as we scroll down, you can see we have all these different options. So we have the variation product label. So this is this section here. So instead of gray, let's make it white. And then we have the variation product options as well. So these are our drop-down menus here. So we can change the background color. So maybe we can make it gray. And you can change the font color as well if you wanted to. So let's make it jet black. So as you can see now, it's all a bit different. And then you have additional features like the variations product reset. So basically, once you've selected your different options, it will display the reset button here. So which colors do you want to assign to it? And then you can do the same for the variations product price and product description. And then let's discover the next set of options is the add to cart swatches product. And for this, we are going to open a new product page. And as you can see, you have all these different options here. So we have color, size, and pattern. So let me show you in the front end what it looks like. So basically, this is it here. And you can select different options, just like that. So these are basically our swatches. So now we can tweak them around and customize them to fit our own preferences. So let's discover all our different options. So let's click on this. And as you can see, the first is the layout. So you can select inline or by default. And then we have different styles as well. So this one is tooltip. So let me show you here from the front end. So if you hover on top, you have a small tooltip displaying on top. So just giving you a piece of advice on what the content is. And then we have with title. And with this one, basically the title heading is displaying underneath. And then the default style. Basically, you'll have the icons on their own and nothing else. So our first option is the tooltip style. So from here you can change the font color, the background color, and the border radius. So let's change this here. So let me show you with the different colors. So let's go with orange maybe. We're going to keep white as the font color. And then we're going to add a border radius of maybe 10. And let me show you what this looks like now. So let's have a quick preview. And as you can see, when I hover on top, now the background is orange with a white font. And our edges are slightly rounded now, because we added a border radius of 10 px. And then our next option is color. So basically this color here applies to our colors here. And then we have image. So basically this is our pattern section here. And then we have button, and this applies to sizes. So let's discover one of them at a time. So let's go with color first. So our first option is the size. So this is the most obvious one. So you can make them bigger or smaller. So let's go maybe with 70 as a size for now, just to show you. And then you can offset the position from the right and from the bottom. So we have 10 and 20 at the moment. So this is what this looks like. So let's change its value. As you can see, we can go from 1 right up to 50. So let's leave it at 50 for now. So let me show you what this looks like. So basically now these icons are completely spaced up from one another with 50 pixels in between. And then we can change the appearance in normal mode and active mode. So let's start in normal mode. So the first option is a border. So you can decide whether or not you want to add a border around it. And if you do, you can select the width. So let's make it maybe 3 pixels for now. And let's select a color. So maybe we go with jet black, just like this. As you can see, we have a border all around it. And as you can see at the moment, we have a border radius of 50 pixels, which means that our shape is completely rounded. But if we change this, maybe put a value of 10, now we have a square shape with rounded edges. And then we can do the same in active mode, except that we're going to select a different border color. So maybe let's make it red. And then we can add a box shadow as well. So let's have a look at what it looks like now. So this is what it used to look like. So now if we refresh the page, as you can see, now we have different shapes, different colors. And if you click on it, the active one will turn red with a box shadow just behind it. And then we can do the same with our image section. So just like that. So let's have a quick look. If we refresh, now we have the same effect with our pattern and images. And finally, let's do the same with our button here. So there you go. I've applied the exact same settings here. So let's have a quick look. So let's refresh our page. So they're displaying exactly the same way. But as you can see with this one here, the font is too small compared to the size of our frame here. So we can change that as well. And for this, we go to our button section into typography. So that's the font. And we can increase the font. So maybe let's make it 32. And let's have a quick look. And as you can see now, this is proportionate compared to the frame around it. And then we have the add to cart grouped product. And for this, yet again, I've selected another item. So let me show you here from the product page. So this one is stylus tool. If you scroll down, as you can see, this one is set as a group product. And these are the 3 products that are grouped together. So let's have a look at our different options here. So the first one is the product name. So it's this one here, basically. And you can change the font and the color. So let's make it maybe a dark gray like this. And then we can do the same with the price. So we can change the color here. So maybe we're going to go with a shade of purple like this. And then we have the button here. So the button is not the add to cart button. Let me show you what this is for. So this button basically is for when one of those grouped product is a variable product. In which case you have to be able to select the different options. So let me show you here a variable product. So we have the stylish wooden chair. If we scroll down, as you can see, this is set as a variable product, which means that all the different variations come in different sizes and different prices as well. And now let's add our variable product to our grouped product. So this is the stylus tool. So if you scroll down, this is our group product. So we're going to add it right here. So stylish, select the product. Now it's added and then click update. And if we go back to our template, as you can see, we now have an additional button here to select the options. And now we can change and customize the look and appearance of this section. So we can change the background color, for instance. So let's make it the same color, purple. And then we can change the font color as well. So you can change this to black maybe. And then we can do the same in hover mode. And as you can see now, if you hover on top, we have a little bit of change of colors. And as always, you can tweak all the other options. You can add some padding, you can change the width, you can add a border and change the border radius as well. And finally, our last Woo Builder element, if we scroll down the page, is this one here. So if you click on this, you can see this is our Woo product listing. And our very first option is the product listing types. So basically from here, you can select what type of content you want to display. Where do you want to fetch the information from? So you can choose among 3 different options. We have normal page, archive page, and single page related products. So let's start with normal page. And then we can define our content source. So as you can see, you select one of multiple categories here. Just click on the plus sign. So let's go with fashion maybe. So as you can see, all these items are from the fashion category. And then we can do the same maybe with wooden. And now we can add as many categories as we want. And you can also include and exclude products. So this feature can be used on its own or alongside the categories here. And for this, let's have a look at our products here. And if you hover on top, you will see that it will display the ID. So if you right click on this, copy, then go back here. As you can see, it is displaying our men's polo shirt, which is this product. So if you want to exclude this from our list, just put the ID here. And it will display all the products except this one. So it is not displaying anymore. Now, if you want to display this one on its own, just add it into the include products. There you go. And then you can add multiple IDs. So like this, for instance, and separated by a comma. Now, bear in mind that those IDs that you found here, they have to be part of those 2 categories here. So if you select wooden and fashion, those ID have to be part of those 2 categories. Now, if you want to display specific products like this, you can remove the categories altogether, and then you'll be able to add as many products as you want, just like that. And then you can define what's the maximum amount of posts you want to display. And then how do you want to order them? Basically, you have all these different options here. So you can define them by date, ID, author, and maybe ascending, descending, and what type of products you want to display. So let's have a look at our second option here is the archive page. And this feature is used basically in category listing, tag listing, search result, and other archive pages. And we have a few options as well. So you can select how many maximum posts you want to display and how do you want to order them. And then finally, we have our last option here, which is single page related products. And if you select that option, as you can see, it's only displaying 2 products here. And the reason is because if we go into our product page, which is black canvas shoes, if you scroll down, if you go into linked products, we only have 2 products linked to it. And these products basically are the 2 products you can see here. Now let's discover the other options here. So let's go back to normal page. And as you can see, you can select among 3 different styles. So we have style 1, style 2, and style 3. And you can select among 4 different layouts as well. So we have grid, masonry, metro, and carousel. And then for any of those layouts here, you always have the extra options as well. So if we click on this, you can have the variable product price range. So if you enable this, so as you can see, this is a variable product. So it goes from $31 up to $49. And then we have the on hover image change. So this one, for instance, comes in different colors. So you can see it is displaying the next picture. And then do you want to display the category? As you can see, we have home decor and fashion, etc. But you might prefer not to display it. And then you have the cart button display as well. So if I hover on top, as you can see, it's revealing the select option. And if it's a single product, it will display add to cart. So you can have those 2 different messages, or you can decide not to display it all together. Then you click on the product and it will bring you to that page. And then finally, we have the display YETH button. So basically, this is from the YI theme company. And if you've installed their plugins, you can have the compare, wishlist, and quick view buttons displayed immediately from here as well. So let's just enable them all and let's have a quick look at the styling options. So as you can see, we have many different features here that we can work on. So let's go through them one by one. Now, most of these options are roughly the same. So basically, you can change the margin, you can change the font, you can change the font color and the background color, and you can do that in normal and hover mode. So we're not going to cover them all. I'm just going to highlight and emphasize very specific features. For instance, we have the badge style. So as you can see, we can display the badge or not. So this is basically this one here, our label that's sticking out. So if you remove that, it's not displaying. If you enable it, it will display. And then we can tweak that around. So you have two different types of badges. You have the out of stock style and then the on sale. So this is one on sale because it's down 51%, for instance. And for this, we can change the background color. Sorry, this one here, just like that. So it could be red. And you can change the font color as well if you wanted to. So maybe we make it a bright yellow, just like that. And now we have a new badge. Now the content background is another interesting one. So let me show you what it does. So let's add a content background and let's add a bit of padding. So maybe 40. And as you can see now, we have a totally different feel. Now the product image is pretty self-explanatory, and the add to cart button, let me show you this quickly. So basically if you hover on top, it's showing the options here, or add to cart, and we can add a color background as well. So as you can see now, we can have a color that matches the bottom half. And then we can have a look at carousel options as well. So if we scroll down, as you can see, the first option is the slider mode, so you can have it horizontal or vertical. And then you have the slide speed, so that's in milliseconds. So 1500 milliseconds is in a second and a half. Now you can define these settings for desktop, tablet, and mobile, of course, you know. So how many columns do you want to display on the desktop? So we have 4 at the moment, so you can reduce that maybe to 3, or you can increase that to maybe 5 or 6, whichever you prefer. So let's keep it at 4 for now. And what do you want your slide effect to move? One column at a time, like we have at the moment. So basically every time it slides is one column at a time, one product at a time. Or do you want to have all visible columns, in which case all these columns will slide together, as you can see, 4 at a time. And then we have all these different options here, so you can decide whether or not you want it to be draggable. So basically you can drag it with your cursor and slide it. Multi-drag, infinite mode. So infinite mode, basically it will loop constantly. And then pause on hover. If you enable this, basically if you hover on top, it will stop the sliding effect altogether. Adaptive height, and you can select different animations as well, etc, etc. And then we have autoplay. So do you want it to slide automatically, or do you want to do this manually? So in which case this has to be manually. You have to click on it. If it's autoplay, it will do it automatically on its own. And then we have the autoplay speed. So this is in milliseconds as well. So 3000 milliseconds is 3 seconds. So as you can see, it will slide automatically every 3 seconds. And you can enable the show dots feature as well, in which case it will display small dots underneath your slider, which will allow you to go from one page to the other immediately. And you can choose among 7 different styles. And you can define the color of your dots as well. So if I wanted them to be red, I'll just change the color here. And as you can see, all our dots are red now. And then you can increase the spacing between the dots and your slider. And you can also hide them and only reveal them if you hover on top of the slider. So like this, for instance. And then we have all the customization options for those arrows on the left and on the right. And as you can see, you can change the color and choose among different styles. You have the background color as well, which is completely clear at the moment. But if you wanted to add a color, you can change the opacity and make it fully white. So as you can see, if you hover on top, it will reveal the background color. And just like with the dots, you can decide if you want to display them only when you hover on top of the slider. So just like this, basically. Now let's have a look at this option here, extra options and messy columns. So let's enable this. And as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at the moment, we only have 4 columns. So we are going to select from 1 to 4. So let's say column 1, we're going to add 40 is here. And then we're going to select column 2, we leave it at 0. Maybe column 3, we can put 80. And then column 4, we're going to leave it at 0 as well. And as you can see, our columns now are all staggered and they're not lined up exactly properly, hence the term messy column. So if this is something you like, you can use this feature here. And our very last option here is the on-scroll view animation. So by default, your slider will display normally with no animation whatsoever, but you can add an animation. For instance, you can have a swoop in, and then when you load your page, it will swoop in just like that. Okay, so let me show you something really cool. It's called the stagger-based animation. So this one here, and you can use this for both in animation and out animation as well. So let me show you what this looks like. So you have the animation stagger here. If you increase the value maybe to 500, you will see on screen, it will reveal each and every product one by one very slowly. And then you can set the animation duration as well in milliseconds, so maybe 500 milliseconds, which is half a second. As you can see now, it is slowing down the displaying process. And now if you set an out animation, so maybe fade out for instance. Now if you scroll back up, you will see they will disappear. And if we scroll back down the page, they will reappear again very slowly. As you can see now, as we scroll down, all our products are showing one by one. And now if you were to select columns-based animation, it's roughly the same principle, the same effect, except that this time if we scroll back up, as you can see, it's a full row of columns that will disappear. As you can see, this one is gone as well. And if you scroll back down now, we'll have a full row of columns showing, and then the same again for those two. So there you go. This is how you can implement the Woo Single Page Builder on your website, and you will agree that it does add a lot of interest to your web pages. If you have any questions, please post them in the comment section below. Again, my name is Dave, and it was a real pleasure to present this tutorial on behalf of the Plus Add-ons for Elementor. And make sure to subscribe to their channel so that way you won't miss out when new videos are being uploaded. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.